Hello and welcome to the ZippOG YouTube channel. This is our first video on the channel, so I thought I'd start off just by telling you a little bit about what we're going to be doing here. I myself am a massive fan of Zippo lighters, not only because of their function and aesthetics, but actually what each one represents. As a collector, I think sometimes people get lost in the way things look, instead of the history or story behind each and every piece. And so that's exactly what I want to do with this channel. So today here I've got my current collection of Zippo lighters. I'm going to showcase them today, and then I want you to keep your eyes peeled for the new videos that pop up on my channel as I build my collection and uncover the part of history that each lighter represents. So let's get started. First up, we've got a chrome Zippo design dedicated to the RRS Bransfield. It has the name of the ship accompanied by an image and the words Antarctic Exploration. The RRS Bransfield was a cargo vessel, purpose-built for icy conditions by the British Antarctic Survey. The vessel was launched on the 4th of September 1970 by Lady Joyce Fuchs. She was the wife of the survey's director, Sir Vivian Fuchs. It was designed by two consultants, Graham and Woolnor, and built by Rob Kelden Shipbuilders. The ship was named after Edward Bransfield, who served in the Royal Navy, as well as being a British explorer who made quite a significant contribution to the discovery of the Antarctic Peninsula. The Bransfield was the British Antarctic Survey's main supply vessel from 1970 to about 1999. This Zippo was released in 1987, according to the date markings on the bottom, and so this vessel was still very much in use when the dedication was made. It's a simple design, but a really lovely one for the collection. Next up, we've got another chrome Zippo, this time with a more simplistic textile design that reads NASA Kennedy Space Center. The Kennedy Space Center, located in Merritt Island in Florida, is one of NASA's 10 field centers. Since December 1968, the Kennedy Space Center has been NASA's primary launch center for human spaceflight. This Zippo was released in 1992, according to the date markings, and in 1992, the STS-49 launched from NASA's Kennedy Space Center on the first flight of the Space Shuttle Endeavour. The primary mission objective was to capture, repair, and redeploy the Intelsat communications satellite. And the three astronauts on board were Richard Heeb, Thomas Akers, and Pierre J. Thu. This Zippo doesn't have the most impressive aesthetic, but when you look at what NASA was doing at the time that it was released, it's very clear what it was dedicated to, and I still think it's very impressive. Now, the next four Zippos I've got to show you are all linked to one place, and that's the Falkland Islands. The first one here is a beautiful dark green colour. It reads Mount Pleasant Airport with an image of an aircraft taking flight. The date stamp on the bottom is CIV, which means this Zippo is from 1988. Mount Pleasant is a Royal Air Force station in the British Overseas Territory of the Falkland Islands. The airfield goes by the motto of Defend the Right, and is part of the British Forces South Atlantic Islands. Mount Pleasant was opened by Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, on the 12th of May 1985, and it became operational the following year. The station was constructed as part of the British efforts to strengthen the defence of the Falkland Islands following the Falkland War. It remains the newest purpose-built RAF station and replaced previous RAF facilities at Port Stanley Airport. The next Zippo is also dedicated to Mount Pleasant, however this one looks a little bit different. As you can probably see, this Zippo is a slim. Zippo began starting to release these slim versions of their lighters in 1956 to try and appeal more to women. This Zippo is dated FV which means 1989, so only 1 year older than the green Zippo from earlier. And if we just get that Zippo and I'll just show you the difference in size here. So you can see that slim figure in comparison to the more bulky, more original Zippo there. But this design here is very bold, a very bold red, and with the looks of, it's got the station's logo, the name. It's just a really unique lighter for the collection. Now my next Zippo is actually my personal favourite. The colour, the look, the finish of it, it's just really nice to look at. This is an all black lighter dedicated to the Royal Engineers. Now the Royal Engineers are combat soldiers with a technical edge, and they've got a role basically in every area of the battlefield. At the front, they support the rest of the army by bridging rivers, exploding other bridges, clearing routes through minefields, and then behind the front line, they improve transport routes, construct camps, build runways, and carry out bomb disposal. Now, this is exactly what this lighter is dedicated to, the particular bomb disposal squad through the Royal Engineers. Now, in April 1982, Argentina invaded the Falklands, and a British task force was rapidly put together to recover the islands. This task force included a small team of 2 Royal Engineer personnel, whose role was basically disarming any unexploded bombs on Port Stanley Airport, once obviously that had been recovered. However, as the Argentinians began to bomb the ships of the task force, the Royal Navy team asked their Royal Engineers colleagues to help, and the Royal Engineers team successfully defused bombs on HMS Argonaut on the 22nd of May, and then the next day the team tackled 2 more bombs on the HMS Antelope, but one exploded unfortunately, which killed Sergeant J. Prescott and severely wounded many others on board. Now, with such a strong backstory behind this Zippo and just its sheer boldness, this just has to be my favourite. Now, the penultimate lighter is another chrome one with a design centred around the Falkland Islands. This one has a date of HIV, which means 1988. This means it was released after the conflict of the Falkland War in 1982. So what I thought I'd do is leave the war bit now and just give you a little bit more information about the Falkland Islands. So they're positioned in the southwest Atlantic Ocean. It's a British overseas territory, although the debate between the British and the Argentinians is still quite bitter. Now, there's an abundance of wildlife on the Falkland Islands, including penguins and other bird species. Whale and dolphin sightings are very common there, and seals and sea lions are popular coastal inhabitants. Now, the rugged terrain, dramatic cliffs, pristine beaches make the territory a haven for migrating and breeding seabirds, and a refuge for the penguins. The abundance of seals, sea lions and penguins make the waters around the Falklands a prime spot for orca. Now, endangered whales feed here, and dolphins inhabit the coast, allowing them to avoid being caught in fishing activities in nearshore waters. So it is a really lovely place for wildlife. I'm just going to showcase some of them on the screen. And yeah, this Zippo is just dedicated from 1988 to the Falkland Islands. The final lighter is all about Zippo itself. This here is an anniversary lighter from 1992, celebrating 60 years of Zippo. It comes in this beautiful commemorative tin that reads Zippo Anniversary Series 1932 to 1992 Collector's Edition. And when you open the tin, there's a message in the lid that reads, "Since 1932, the Zippo name has always meant quality. This special pewter emblem lighter was created in celebration of our 60th anniversary. Technological advances have allowed us to create durable, attractive finishes for our products. From our original brush finish chrome lighter to the new midnight chrome finish used on many items, our products reflect Zippo's commitment to the finest quality American-made products. Now this lighter here is just beautiful. It is a real showpiece, and it really just upholds Zippo's main goal of that quality. Now, none of the Zippos I've shown today have ever been fueled and used. This video is my sort of showcase for my initial collection, so please hit that button and subscribe to the channel as I build this collection further and we look into the history behind each piece. I'm on the hunt at car boot sales, auctions, online listings for some real nice collection pieces, so turn that bell on to get updates to see what I find. If you have any questions or additional information about any of the Zippos that I've showcased or the history behind them, then please just don't hesitate to drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. In fact, I would love to know which Zippo that I've showcased today is your favourite. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.